Greetings and salutations, my fellow Americans. I am Robert Vincent Brannum. I am a retired veteran. My fellow Americans and my fellow veterans, Donald Trump has clearly and decisively united MAGA Republicans around him. Donald Trump has united MAGA Republicans to support rape. Donald Trump has united MAGA Republicans to support racism. Donald Trump has united MAGA Republicans to support bigotry. Donald Trump has united MAGA Republicans to support lies, vengeance, vulgarity, and violence. Donald Trump has united MAGA Republicans against the Constitution and democracy. My fellow Americans and my fellow veterans, Donald Trump has united a social media cult of liars, rapists, racists, bigots, and advocates for violence and vulgarity like no other demagogue or white supremacist. My fellow Americans and my fellow veterans, Donald Trump and extreme far right-wing MAGA Republicans would support slavery, the denial of voting rights, racial segregation in schools, housing, employment, and other public accommodations as a states' right. My fellow Americans and my fellow veterans, you can see across MAGA social media, supporters of Donald Trump express their contempt for truth as they repeat the lie the 2020 presidential election was stolen from Donald Trump. Their vitriol attacks of President Joe Biden, former Speaker Nancy Pelosi, vile racist postings targeting black Americans like former President Barack Obama, former First Lady Michelle Obama, black district attorneys, and federal judges show their rhetorical depravity and gutter-filled racism and bigotry. My fellow Americans and my fellow veterans, the intellectual lameness and philosophical bastardization by MAGA Republicans represents a deep and sweet political cancer within the Republican Party. As evidenced by recent congressional Republican voting failures, sanity has left the Republican Party. Intellectual dishonesty has infected the Republican Party, its political bloodstream, and no Republican is immune from its impact. My fellow Americans and my fellow veterans, think about this. The leader of the MAGA Republican Party is a rapist, a racist, a bigot, a liar, facing 91 counts, found liable for sexual assault in 2 cases in order to pay a victim $83.3 million. It's these truths MAGA Republicans refuse to see and facts they refuse to believe. My fellow Americans and my fellow veterans, we happy few, we band of Americans and veterans, for we Americans and veterans today who shared our souls with each other shall be true Americans and veterans, but we never so vile from this day shall gentle our condition, and any American or veteran now abed shall think themselves accursed they did not uphold the Constitution and defend democracy from attack and extreme far-right MAGA media Republicans and hold their citizenship cheap, while any who stood up to and fought with us against dictatorship, authoritarianism, and rape and racism and bigotry. My fellow Americans and my fellow veterans, the arguments against President Joe Biden by Donald Trump, Nikki Haley, MAGA congressional Republicans, MAGA media, and MAGA social media posters are deceitful and dishonest. Under President Biden, inflation and unemployment have lowered. Under President Biden, wages and unemployment have dramatically increased, and America's economy is booming. Under President Biden, the soul and conscience of America can see the bright North Star. My fellow Americans and my fellow veterans, as an American and as a veteran, I ask you not to look to Donald Trump or to the extreme far right-wing MAGA Republican Party as beacons of hope, honor, decency, and trust for the Constitution and principles of democracy. My fellow Americans and my fellow veterans, under the steady, proven, competent, and compassionate leadership of President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, America is respected around the world for democracy, justice, freedom, and truth. Thank you.